things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to show you how to winterize your chainsaw. It's a little bit late in the season, but better late than never. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to winterize it, how to make changes to your chainsaw so it performs better in the winter, specifically when the weather or the temperature is below 50. So a lot of these tips came from Homestead Jay, and I meant to do it maybe a month and a half ago when he told me about it, and I'm a little behind. So, but you know, I'm gonna be doing it today because in the next week or two, I'll be cutting a lot of wood outside and the temperatures will definitely be under 50. However, I do have to mention that once you winterize your chainsaw, to make sure to put it back to what it was before when the temperature goes above 50. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is, okay guys, so for this particular chainsaw, the Echo CS370, there is a cold weather plug. So you have to move that plug from warm weather to cold weather to move hot air from the engine into the carburetor when it's cold, so it operates a lot better during the winter. Now, like I said a minute ago, only when it's below 50. So let me get started here. Let me show you. All right, so again, this is the CS370. This is the air cleaner cover. And it's right there. You see that? It's set for warm weather, right there. I'm gonna move it in a second. But first, I'm gonna check the this air filter, and it should be okay. I changed it last year, and it looks relatively clean, so I'm good. So I'm just gonna clean around the base a little bit with this paintbrush. All right, guys. So you see this plug here? It's a rubber plug. I'm gonna take it out of there and put it there, okay? In the 15 years I've had this chainsaw, I've never had to remove this plug. There it is, you see that? So I'm gonna put it right here for now until maybe late April when the temperature goes up. Now make sure that from the winter position, you put it back to the summer position during the hot weather, because if not, the engine will overheat. But for the winter, this is perfect. Okay, so I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. All right. Now, another thing that Jay recommended is I'm gonna turn the oiler up a couple of notches. So the oiler will oil the chain bar and the chain. One thing that he said is to use a chain oil for winter. Now this Husqvarna is all season. So meaning that you can use it in the summer, you can use it in the winter. Before this, I did have one that I bought at the depot that was specifically made for winter weather, but this is all season, so it'll work just fine. And I say that because in the past, I've had a specific type of oil that was only useful in the summer. It was super, super thick, but this is much thinner and it'll operate good when the temperature falls, you know, to 20 or 0 or 5 below 0. So where is that setting? It's right there. You see, you probably can't see it, so I'm gonna have to take this off. There's a little screw that you turn counterclockwise to increase the oiling to the chain, or if you turn it clockwise, it'll throw less, or it'll allow less oil into the chain. But in this case, I'm going to turn it a couple of notches counterclockwise. Okay guys, so there's the screw right there. If you turn it counterclockwise, it's going to allow more oil into the bar and the chain. If you turn it clockwise, it'll shut it off. Not shut it off, but it'll turn down the oil just a tad. But I'm gonna leave it high. And another thing on your bar, you want to make sure that your oiler holes are clear, and these are clear. Now, another thing that Jay mentioned is that when you're using your chainsaw, your chain is going to expand when it heats up. But then when you shut it down and the chainsaw cools down, then your chain is going to contract. So one thing that he recommended was to go ahead and loosen up your chain just a tad. All right, guys, so how about the Stihl MS250? Now this is a little bit different. It's a newer chainsaw than mine. This was built in 2018, and my Echo probably about 15 years ago. So I want to winterize this chainsaw as well. So let me move it this way. And the way to winterize this chainsaw, this is the air cover right there. So you're gonna, turn that to the left, and you're gonna take this cover off. Let me put the camera down. All right, guys, one thing I just noticed. The choke has to be all the way down in order for you to take the cover off. So you press on the fuel, you press on the gas, and then you push it all the way down. And now I'm able to take the cover off, okay? And this is the air filter right there. All right, guys, so this little plastic piece, this is what you have to move. So right now it's in a summer position. All you're gonna do is you're gonna lift it up and you're gonna flip it over like so, okay? You're gonna put it right back in there. You see that? You see that right there? So that is going to allow a lot of the hot air that comes from the engine into the air filter and into the carburetor, and it's going to allow the motor to perform better during cold weather. Again, only cold weather, but make sure that once it heats up to above 50, that you put it back to the summer weather operation. Filter up a little bit. Yeah, it's relatively clean. It just had a little bit of dust on top. So I'm going to put the cover back on, and that's it. Easy, right, guys? Hey guys, for these chainsaws, I'm already using the pre-mixed 50-to-1 fuel and oil. What that means that it's 50 parts gasoline and 1 part oil. And this particular one is ethanol-free fuel. The non-ethanol fuel is better for your machines, whether it's your lawnmower, your chainsaws, etc. Now, what if you don't have a special mix like this? It'll be okay to use regular gasoline, preferably without ethanol, and you can mix this oil with your gas. So again, what that means is that you have to, in a bucket, you have to put 50 parts gasoline and 1 part of oil to protect your engines. So I'm going to start these up now just to test them out. Now, I've always felt that my Echo was a little slow at times, and it lacked a little bit of power during the winter months. So hopefully with this little trick, the chainsaw will perform a little better. So thanks, Jay. Thanks a lot for the tips. It's already late. It's about 6:30. Is it 6:30? Yeah, 6:56. Close enough. So I'm gonna add a little bit of wood to my boiler before going inside. I don't want to come out later. So yeah, there is fire, but I'm gonna add a few logs. Now today, the temperature went up to 43. Wow, that is warm for this part of the country at this time of year. And definitely I welcome the warm weather. So spring is almost around the corner. And what am I gonna do? Oh, since I'm here, before I add the wood to the boiler, let me show you. In the next couple of days, am purchasing wood for my raised beds, and maybe a little bit of fencing. I may need some fence because I have a lot of animals in the area. So I'm gonna build 2 raised beds. I'm gonna put them somewhere in this area, and then I'm gonna buy 2 metal raised beds. So I'm gonna have 4 to begin. However, I will probably expand to 4 to 6 or maybe 8 raised beds. So yeah, I got lots of space over here. I'm not going to build anything on the other side over there because I have my septic tank leach fields, and the way I understand it, you cannot build anything on top of a leach field. So yeah, anything from the balcony on out, I can build. I can build the raised beds and just fence it. So I have lots and lots of space. It's right behind the wood boiler. I may also put the chicken coop back here behind the trampoline. Trampoline I may have to move to the side of the shed. So yeah, I'm still working on the ideas, and you guys will know here shortly because I'm building the raised beds this week. All right, so yeah, let me add some wood. I threw some cardboard box in there. Check it out, guys. It's a thing of beauty.
Even in the hard times,